In theory, the new M4 is way cheaper than the AMG, but with the BMW's optional carbon ceramic brakes and dual clutch gearbox, plus a couple of other choice interior options, the prices soon become much more evenly matched. True, this leaves the C63 on steel brakes with which to take on the M4, and the AMG weighs over 200 kilograms more than the BMW as well. But the C63 counters with a fair bit more power and torque, and one of the sweetest rear-wheel drive chassis there is. So the M4 will need to be more than just capable to live with it, and downright brilliant to better it. First impressions, immediate impressions. Big, thick, chunky steering wheel as usual, lovely seats, a really nice kind of business-like but really sporty cabin as well. It goes well too, as we'll find out in a second. And it does all the sideways stuff just as well as you'd love any new M car to do, which I'll also show you in a second. But there is one big disappointment already, and that is the motor. I know they have to do this because of ecological reasons and emissions, etc. nowadays, but I really, really miss already the kind of whap-whap response that you used to get from the old V8 and the old straight six in the E46 before it. I mean, yes, you can do all that, but I'm wanting more from the throttle response, I really am. Having said that, it does go like stink in a straight line when you put your foot down, and it has got masses of torque. Very nearly 120 pounds-feet more torque than the old V8 M3. That is not to be sniffed at. Okay, you lose the throttle response, but that's what you get in return. What's it like compared with the C63? Well, it actually feels quite a bit lighter on its feet than the C63, which is great. It also does do that kind of thing really rather well. I mean, I know that's of no significance whatsoever to driving your new M4 on the public road. This is not a public road, by the way, it is a closed piece of road. But no, the chassis is really rather nice. The brakes, lovely feel with mega amounts of power. The steering is quite kind of meaty and heavy and beefy, but it's got nice response to it, and you know where the front end is on this car at all times, but it's just that noise. It's just not that. Well, it really isn't very nice to listen to at all, and the throttle response is soft, unfortunately. Confession number one, this is not a standard C63, this is the 507 version, which costs 68,000 and has 500 horsepower, but bear in mind, the standard C63 really isn't a whole lot different from this, and it costs £57,000, so, you know, very, very close to the M4, give or take a few options here and there. And what we're talking about, it's really interesting going from C63 to M4, because the M4 is very obviously the more modern car, it's more economical, it's more ecologically aware, etc, etc. And the C63 is kind of from another era almost, and it does feel more old-fashioned in everything it does. The cabin feels quite a lot more old-fashioned than the M4's, but the big difference between them is the motor. Whopping great, naturally aspirated V8 up front with a kind of slight nod towards emissions, etc., but not really. It's an out-of-date engine, but it is an absolutely lovely engine in this car, and it really does make the M4s feel kind of slightly dull, to be quite honest. Is that being fair? Well, I think it is, because you just put your foot down once in this thing and it just rockets forwards and makes the most lovely noise. And it's, you know, the noise is important in a car like this. It really is. It kind of defines your fun in a way. Also, the C63 has got lovely steering, beautiful feel, lots of precision. The M4 steering is nice, but this is absolutely lovely steering. The gear change in the C63 is definitely not as good as the M4's. It's slower on the way up,
it doesn't give you downshifts, you know, absolutely when you want them on the way down either. And for some reason, I don't know why, AMG can't quite seem to crack the dual clutch gearbox. I mean, it's good, but it's not brilliant like the M4s. The other thing you are very much aware of in the C63 is the extra weight it carries beside the BMW. Nearly just over 200 kilograms heavier. And again, that's because it's a car from another era. Cars are getting lighter nowadays because of their clever use of cleverer materials. And again, the C63 feels a little bit old-fashioned until you start doing that sort of thing in it. And then the light just appears in front of your eyes, and everything that's lovely about driving a C63 comes to life.
Despite the major differences in their weights, the BMW needs 4.1 seconds to hit 62 miles an hour, the AMG just a tenth more at 4.2 seconds. So although they couldn't feel more opposite to one another in their delivery, they arrive at almost exactly the same time. And on the way there, the AMG feels and sounds hugely more invigorating en route.
I mean, listen to that, listen. There's even a little trump on the as it upshifts. But then it won't downshift when you want it to.
Having said that, the BMW's dual clutch gearbox does work more precisely than the AMG's. The BMW also rides a fair bit more smoothly on rough roads and generates a touch less tyre noise. But what it doesn't do is steer as sweetly as the Mercedes. And again, it's the AMG's extra bit of touchy-feely appeal that keeps it just out of reach of the M4.
It's not as talky as the M4, definitely not. But it is every bit as well balanced when you want to do the silly stuff. I love this car. I love this car so much, it's crazy. If it was my money, the M4 is a really good car, really good progression of that kind of a car, of a sporting coupe, but oh, I love this, just that little bit more. I'm a complete sucker for it. The C63 is just